Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Some Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Ken Bozak.
And we're live, bros.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
How's it going?
I want to give away
Welcome.
an NFT today.
Please do. It wouldn't be the same if you didn't, honestly.
So on the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a QR code that should update eventually.
Oh, wait. I'm just kidding. That'd be
What?
so screwed up if I grabbed it.
Did it not update? Why is it not updating? Anyway, trying to give away an NFT. As always, I'm with my co-host Nathan. You already know.
Hey!
He's love. Love is the answer. And the answer
What's
is
up?
Nathan.
Hey, how's it going? Hey. It's about 72 degrees outside. How you doing?
It's about what?
I don't know. This is like radio talk.
And our guest today is my OG bro. Joel, how goes it?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yes.
Going well, actually. As soon as you say that, the QR code updated. So if you want to scan that QR code in the bottom right corner, you'll get yourself a free NFT today.
And that's a magic
Yeah.
voice. You can update QR codes with your voice, Joel. That's crazy.
Yeah,
We just
that's
met.
what
I'm
happens
already
when you have a
impressed.
deep radio voice. I do know some people who have a deeper, more radio-esque voice than me, which, you know, I don't know. I can only imagine what they do. They're the ones who mint new block reward when they speak.
Yeah, but you're not.
Their voices are fake.
Yeah, but that was Nathan trying a radio voice. You just have one. Like you just naturally
More or
speak
less.
in radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get Chuck Williams on the CTO of Float, because he's got that really deep. Like he does this even without trying.
As soon as you said his
Crafting
name, I had a flashback of randomly running into him at an airport. Like it was the most random, because it was like back in like the day, there wasn't many of us cryptoers in general, and it was like, wait, one of us, you have a Dash shirt on. I was like, yeah, dude, I have a Dash tattoo. Like we know each other. It was awesome running into him.
Yeah, it's cool, dude.
So, how you been, man? It's been a while since I got to chat with you, and I'm just curious, like, how have you been outside of crypto, just in general, with the way the world's been?
Yeah, well, let me just say, like, the last couple of years of my life, for various reasons, have probably been the best of my life, which is a little bit of a different situation than a lot of people. Maybe you feel the same way, but, I mean, first off, I am blessed to live in the free state of New Hampshire, and pretty much nothing changed in my day-to-day life over the last couple of years. Like there was like about 2 weeks when a lot of restaurants, there were like everyone kind of like hung around in their house. There was some restaurants that were just doing takeout only, but you still like walk in and get the takeout and go out, you know? Just not much really changed at all in my day-to-day life. There's a cafe right around the corner I go to work that they didn't require masks the entire time, for example. And so I was just like, all right, that's good. And then now everything looks really normal. And, you know, the local economy did pretty well. Like like in terms of the situation, everything's been going really well. Unfortunately, there was a few friends of mine who passed away due to, you know, mental problems and stuff during that time, which really sucked. But
Same.
other than that, I mean, other than that, it's been a pretty awesome, you know, last couple of years, especially, which is kind of funny because it's also like peak crypto winter times too, when, you know, not a lot of people are having good times.
Yeah, man, I feel you. I know some people do more to like the environment of the pandemic than the cause of the pandemic itself. Did you ever, since, you know, you were in an environment that was very loose on the masks and everything, did you ever get COVID or anything?
Yeah, I think earlier this year, like it was forever. It took, you know, like a whole year of this stuff before I got something. I got a little sleepy for a couple days, a little like tingly to touch on like the shoulders and stuff. And then I lost like 80% of my taste. I could still taste stuff if it was like really flavorful or whatever. But then it's like a week and then I got over that.
Oh, you lucky you.
Good.
I lost.
Ken was out.
Yeah, I got my taste and smell back like 3 days into a pulled back, sitting in bed. I can't move. I just started getting like my back better, but
dude, you went to good places. Like you passed on like good restaurants with no taste. Like you were eating good food, just couldn't taste it.
I know, it was really disappointing, but at least it felt good, you know.
It feels good.
I got
you got to
COVID
indulge.
twice, man. I had that shit twice, so. It was definitely bad. It was definitely bad the second time. The first time was bad. Like I was sick, like for real sick. I didn't know. I thought I just had the flu. I was like, oh shit, I got the flu, you know. And a funny thing, I just came back from Token 2049 in Hong Kong. So February 2020, come home, traveled through New York, and stuck in bed for like 2 weeks dying. And,
you did all the wrong
dude,
stuff.
I was so sick. And then I didn't know anything until like March. People were like, COVID this, COVID that. I'm like, oh yeah, I think I had that. I was like really sick a couple weeks ago. And
like,
I didn't lose any of my smell or any of my taste though. And then round 2, I caught it in Honolulu on vacation. And
good place to catch it.
I just felt weak, like physically weak. Like I just worked out. Like I constantly felt like I just got off of like a treadmill or bench pressing. But I didn't feel sick, not a day. I didn't feel sick at all. I just lost my smell and taste like 100%.
Yeah, well, that's rough. I'm glad you're like pumped full of them natural antibodies. So, you know, I could probably, you know, hit you with any kind of thing and you just breeze right through it, you know?
I would hope so.
Malaria, it's all right.
I'm pretty sure I've had it twice, except the first time we didn't really know that it was that, like Ken said. The second time, me and my fiance went to Wild 'N Out, Nick Cannon's show, but it was the live one. And we were around a ton of people, and it was just not a good idea. So I got sick from that. And I was the same. Like I remember washing the dishes by hand and getting tired and having to take a nap from washing dishes one time. So it is no joke.
Them dishes
but I didn't
will
feel
get you.
sick either. I was just kind of really, really exhausted. But dishes suck too.
At least the economy seems to be recovering in a different sense. I know we've just seen, you know, what was it, China's Evergrande or whatever. That doesn't look great. But other than that, I mean, people are spending. We can see that on the markets. You know, taking profits isn't always a bad thing. It'll be spent somewhere else, and that's always a good thing too. So it seems like, you know, we're at like a worldwide recovery phase. It's just like, you know, the Band-Aid needs to get ripped off kind of point.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's on the one hand, yeah, it seems like the world's going back to a better place. On the other hand, all the people who've been screwing up the world for the last who knows how long seem to be going full steam ahead. Like more inflation, more stupid regulations, more this, more that, more debt, more, and it just, I can't. Like,
well, they know the dollar's
else,
dead, so I think they're just killing it. They're just like running it until it's dead. They know it. So they're like, hey, it's not going to last long. The time is set when the dollar dies, but they can do what they can until then, right? So that's why we see mass printing.
Well, that's I mean, that's exactly what I said like a few weeks ago. It's like I think everyone at the Federal Reserve owns crypto. I'm really sure that they do, right? And they're just running it off. They're trying to exploit as much of the people as they can by printing as much as they can so they can get as much crypto as possible.
Yep.
When the whole thing collapses, they'll be fine. The crooks will be fine. And then we'll be fine, but there's a lot of these poor suckers who just won't be fine. And
this
I really
is why
feel
Bitcoin and
bad
all
for 'em.
crypto's horribly undervalued right now, because what
Yeah.
we're allowing them to buy with it is free to them. It feels like
Mhm.
it's value. They don't care, so they can buy your Bitcoin with their dollars as much as they want until the dollar is dead. I think Bitcoin's very undervalued. It should be paired to gold and nothing else. If it
Would
had
you
to be paired to
embrace-
anything.
Would you embrace another crypto winter at this point so that you could accumulate, considering it's so undervalued even at this high, high value compared to where it was a year ago?
So, for my point, like first off, I don't buy dips because I don't really have fiat. And it's
Right.
been the same way for the last 5 years,
You
right?
earn dips.
So-
You like work harder when there's a dip.
I do actually. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you'll get more.
I'll take-
so.
and then I spend more when it's up. It's like, oh, now like, oh, it's peak. Is it that peak time to get a couch again? Like this couch is looking ratty. Can we hold on until the peak and then you get another one? So yeah, it's like that's definitely for sure. I kind of relish. I relish the lack of noise in the bear markets, right? Because in the bull markets, everyone's like, oh, this is hopping off, that's hopping off. Everyone's talking about all the new stuff, and then all that stuff starts to fade in the bear market. All the hype people. Like, again, no hate to the Doge, but what the hell is going to happen with Doge during the bear market? Like when Elon's not tweeting anymore, and like,
Goes
just
to
everyone
7
just
cents.
like leaves, and then the last few people holding on to just horrendously heavy Doge bags, just
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's just that kind of stuff. But like, I've always been more of a I fell in love with using the tech, right? That's what I've been doing since day one. Every time I get to use a new thing, I get excited, and the number go up is just like, as long as it's high enough for me to pay my bills and pay for my little espresso and stuff, that's all I care about. It's so I can't kind of wait. I don't like dumps, of course, no one does, but it'll be fun to be able to focus on stuff when everyone's kind of shuts up for a moment, and you get to say, oh, look, have you tried this? Have you done this? This works well. Let's build that,
Well, with being all in as you are, how do we compare our? Well, how do we confidently compare our and justify our volatility to the volatilities we hold accountable to why crypto exists? Like, a lot of people will say, look at the currency volatility in Venezuela or in Africa, and they say this is why Bitcoin, but then Bitcoin's volatility is fucking sometimes just as bad and unpredictable. So like, how do we justify the volatility? When you say, like, as long as it's enough to pay for rent and coffee, well, sometimes it's not, though. Like, we've seen the market crash 80% twice.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why I don't try to talk about it like an investment and stuff, because it's a wonky investment, right? Or even a store of value, like, oh, you're just like gold, you're going to hold on to it and it's going to be stable. It's like, no, not for a long time. It's freedom tech. That's really what it is. It just lets you do whatever you want. And that's kind of the way people kind of wrap head around that is, if anyone's an entrepreneur, it makes a lot more sense, because you do a lot of high risk things when you're an entrepreneur. If you run a business, you have great months and then you have terrible months, and you like ride them out and balance. Just make sure you're able to ride the dips, the dips and the peaks, and smooth it all out. And especially like here in New Hampshire, tourism is a huge business, is a huge industry. And so there's a lot of businesses that just don't make money a good part of the year. They just are not profitable. And then, the tourist season comes up, the teeny little highways just packed with people from all other states coming back to, to go from a place that sucks like New Jersey, no offense, and to see some
They
good
barely
spots.
have cell phones in New Jersey.
Yeah, and then that's where they make all the money. So that's like the bull market, right? You just up and down, and it makes you more responsible, I think, about money. I just feel really sad for people who do the 9-to-5 thing, not because, which is the stupid cliche thing to say, but it's like it's the fragility of it. It's just like, okay, well, I gotta get, every 2 weeks I get the money in here, because then it goes to the car loan and goes this, that. And if anything gets disrupted, my little micro ecosystem, I'm just screwed. Like, how do you live like that? The constant stress, no wonder taking pills,
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I'm kind of walking in both worlds. Like I'm pretty cash poor one
Yeah.
week, and then I'll have money, and then I'll have no crypto, and then, you know,
Mhm.
I think, and that's where like a lot of us go wrong in this is we don't kind of pick one in some
Mhm.
ways. It's like either play the other game or be a part of this. But you know,
Yeah.
if you're just trying to make money, like you're gonna lose a lot of times, especially on days like yesterday, today. There's a lot of sadness, but I don't know. I think that people should quit putting all their hopes and dreams into like one thing. Also, there's got to be some sort
Mhm.
of attempt to connect with yourself, like the
Mhm.
self at some point, away from the computer, away from the tech. And
Yeah, but
it's
some
just,
people suck and they know
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of those people are in
That's-
crypto. You know, a lot of people just like had nothing else going for them in life. They didn't do well in school. They aren't popular or cool, and they just heard about this magic internet money and they got in. Now it's just like, I'm the Bitcoin so and so, and they're just all,
Yeah.
and it's just like a crutch. And you can tell those people because like all they can talk about is like the dip, the dip, the sucks, and like, oh, I'm a millionaire now that the hit the price. Wow, and it's just all that kind of stuff is all they talk about, and there's no like, man, you don't seem like a happy, balanced person. That's kind of the same as like
Yeah. It's the human
fiat
volatility.
slave.
That's
Yeah,
what's tough about attaching ourselves emotionally to this stuff. Is that's my point, is that then we become subject to the volatility in the market, and all of a sudden our moods are bad for like 4 months because the market's down. Like I've seen it a lot, and it's just kind of like,
yeah,
I want people to be happy. I'm not judging. I just think that like,
yeah.
I think as a community we should make more of an attempt to detach ourselves emotionally from the volatility in this, because I've seen people freaking out the last couple of days, and it's kind of sad.
Well, all you got to do is wait a few more years, and stuff starts to stabilize more, and then
Yeah.
all like the moon boys will be gone because there's no moon to have. It's just like, oh, 20 more meters up the mountain, like
Yeah.
every year or whatever. It's not gonna be fun anymore. They'll go gamble on. There's still gonna be some dumb like dog-based things going all over the place. but-
Shiba, I think, just got listed on Coinbase and
Yeah,
made people
totally.
pretty
Yeah.
happy.
Some people
yeah,
gotta
how
get
the
bummed
mighty have
off that.
fallen, huh?
So what I think happened there, and I think this will get us towards like privacy focused conversations, head to Dash. Yes, we'll talk
Mhm.
about it. I see people in the chat.
Mhm.
Dude, it's things that have been said a million times in a million podcasts. You know what I mean? So it's like Dash instead of Lightning Network. It's been talked about a million times. I don't really feel like getting into it, but we will. I promise. But wait, what were we just saying before I segued? That dab I did.
You start talking about privacy, and then you start talking about like, the Shiba and the Coinbase.
Oh
system.
yeah. So I think Shiba's
Yeah,
listing
that's
on Coinbase. If everybody paid attention, was Coinbase partnered with or is working closely with chain analysis type shit and some
Mhm.
other entities. And when they listed Shiba, I think it was just a way to really get people to dumbly, conveniently cash out through their system to start a chain analysis on for tax purposes. Like a lot of people are gonna get hit by the tax man because of their naivety of cashing out through Coinbase, their altcoins and those shitcoins that are being listed. I think it's a fucking trap.
It probably is. Did you hear about the Chainalysis honeypot that they've been running?
No.
There was some CoinDesk article, but basically there's some site I never went to that basically lets you check your crypto addresses to see if they've been like picked up by anything. And that was secretly like a honeypot that they were busting a whole lot of people on.
Oh.
And they're busting, it's the funny part is they're busting a whole lot of Monero users too. Like I think they said 60% or whatever, because it's like, that's the thing about the tech. A lot of people just think, I buy this coin, I use it, and it will protect me. That's not, you can't be protected against your own stupidity sometimes. Like the amount of honeypotted people that just like, oh, is this site being tracked? Like, does the IRS know you have coins? Put your address and let's see if the IRS knows. It's like, what the hell, dude? It's just like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like putting your junk in a vice to see, like, no,
It's gonna
just
hurt.
Don't do it.
Doxed yourself.
Don't do it, you idiot.
Yeah. I remember back in the day trying to tell people like, yeah, you're synonymous, not anonymous, and trying to explain that. Still, I think people aren't going to get it for a while until it's like common
Mhm.
knowledge. But buying something on Amazon with your name and address, so Amazon can ship it, and paying for it with Bitcoin from like your hardware wallet. Now they know the name and the address of that Bitcoin wallet, and everything it's ever done or ever will do will now be documented, all from Amazon. Or buying a Uber Eats gift card. Sometimes you need a login. You logged in with your real email that you use for your cable bill. Now they know who you are from just so like there's a lot of reasons that you should consider privacy, and it's not always I'm just trying to avoid taxes. Sometimes you're just not allowed to buy like birth control because you live in a certain state. Or you want to get a vaccine not from a doctor because you don't have insurance. So just go online and buy it. Fuck it. Right now you can't. You're not allowed, but you can if you do it in certain ways, right? And these are the difference between legal and illegal and right and wrong. So having that self-protection of protecting oneself from that, I think is really important. So yeah, it just as soon as I saw Shibu get listed on Coinbase, I immediately thought of Chainalysis. Immediately started to think, wow, a few years from now, they're really going to start coming for everything that you have ever owned and everything you have ever because they wanted to build up. They're not going to come for you in a couple days, couple weeks. They're going to let that shit stack until it is so much they get everything.
Yeah, and they don't even. The other way to tell is that they haven't even listed quality projects that have been around for years.
That's the problem.
It was like Tron isn't on there, even like VeChain. There's some that have like
on there.
Wax. There's some that have like really big communities that aren't considered legitimate, but they'll take something like Sheeb, who I actually met like their head of marketing at the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight, and so I know like just talking to them, they haven't been around for long, and
So
I know some things too.
So I want to jump into why Dash instead of Lightning Network and all that stuff, but I think it starts with privacy focused conversation, and I guess we could start on that for the chat here because Jonathan says he's genuinely confused about peer-to-peer cash everything.
Well, to be honest, just about everyone is, right? It's a little it's a very complicated micro subject on something that's extremely simple. So just for the Lightning thing, for quick purposes, this is my Lightning node right here. I do run a Lightning node and I do use it. I bought stuff with it just to be in it and know what it's all about, right? And the thing is, the process of using Lightning, like if you have if I wanted to send you, Ken, some money on Lightning, if I want to send it from my hardware wallet, I first have to get it into a channel. So that's like, a little bit of time, and then or a lot of money, depending on how you do it. And then I can kind of send it, but then only if you have a certain amount of money pledged to you. And that's the thing about, I've used Lightning in times that it's worked pretty smoothly. The problem is it's like one of those, like all conditions have to be perfect. It's kind of like, well, do you have enough inbound liquidity going out? Do I have a proper route in the channel? Are they not charging enough fees? What about
the channel be closed before the transaction's done?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things like that, and so
stuck in the wormhole.
The big thing that really kind of blew my mind when I was thinking that, because people are fixing a lot of these little inconveniences with Lightning, but the big thing is, in order to be able to receive $100, someone has to have $100 locked up pointing at you, and that's just the way it works. So let's just say Twitter wants to onboard like 200 million users to Lightning. If they're doing actual Lightning, they have to do 2 billion USD locked up just to let every user be able to receive $10. And it's not like you can't do that. That's just a cost, right? And then what does it cost? A fee passed down to the consumer. And so like this whole thing where Lightning is cheap and fast and all that kind of stuff today, it'll probably work better in the future, but just the nature of the beast, it's going to end up costing something more. It's going to be, a few cents a transaction at least, or more in the future, probably, just because of that structural.
And there's different types of channels, though. You could always use a sponsored channel or whatever, right? Like you said, somebody could put that money up and say, it's pointing at you, and that could be Visa in the future, or Wells Fargo, right? With hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars in Bitcoin and channels, and they earn those micro transaction fees on Lightning for that, right? So I mean, it could work, but then we're back at that privacy issue where now what if you're not approved to use the channel because they don't want you to, or you get blacklisted
Yeah.
from the fucking Visa Lightning channel. Now you can't do business anywhere that uses the
Well,
Visa
that's the
Lightning
thing.
channel.
I
Censorship
It's
on
not-
Bitcoin, yay!
It's not there yet, but you can see it in the future because like I wanted to have my node, I wanted to send money to people, it kept not routing. And so because you're not well connected enough. So I wanted to connect to the biggest node, Async, which runs like the Phoenix wallet and stuff. So I tried to connect to them, but they had like a certain minimum. They won't open a channel unless you have a certain amount, which is double. I had like $100 in the wallet. They went like 250 or whatever the Bitcoin of that was at the time. And so I just couldn't connect to them at all. And so I was just like, just from being a small player. And so, I mean, imagine deposit like account minimums. Does that remind anyone of anything?
Just reminds me of the word dust and how much of it's probably still locked in
Just-
wallets everywhere.
Yes. So, but like for the past however long, I've been able to take Dash in its hardware wallet, it's send it to my phone, and then send it to the final merchant, and it's confirmed. As long as my thumbs work fast enough, it's like 5 seconds total. Just zip, it's confirmed. Zip, it's permanent. It's all good, secure.
Do you opt into the privacy part of that when you do that? Do you opt in?
Yes. So it's a coin mixing thing. It's like CoinJoin, right? So basically what that would have to do is you mix it with a whole bunch of different people, and then after that, it's just ready to just send out. So for example, let's just say, you have your spending wallet, you put everything through the mixer, throw it to your mobile wallet, and then spend. And so there's kind of a break in the transaction graph right there. And of course, there's a million different things you can keep private. And what Dash works best at is just being able to keep that basic level of privacy where if I send you money, you can't see where it came from, or you can't see.
So
where
I don't
sent
know
the money
exactly
from.
how much money is in the wallet that just paid me.
Yes, well, because you can't see exactly where it came from.
That's the biggest
But
problem
if-
I ever had with Bitcoin when I first got into it. Like when people first get
Yeah.
into it, they think it's private, and then people won't know things, and then they send somebody $1, and then somebody's like, "Thanks for the $1, but I see you're a millionaire. I checked your Bitcoin
Yeah.
wallet. Give me more money. Like, I know where
which
you
is
live."
it's way worse with like Ethereum and stuff where like everyone has one address. It's
Oh
just-
yeah.
That's way worse. Jonathan said also in the thing, he says, you're talking about running a node, not non-custodial mobile wallets, for example. I understand the critique, but things like Mun Phoenix solve this, don't they? Sort of, but no. So if I have a mobile like Bitcoin Dash, anything, Monero wallet or whatever, it's, so I keep my own money. I can just send it to and from, and I'm relying on someone else's node to send my transaction out to the network. But if they say fuck off, I just like get a different one. It's so easy. With Lightning wallets, they're the mobile ones like Phoenix, which again I use that one too. It's non-custodial in that like they can't run off with your money, but they still run the one node, the centralized company or whatever runs the channel that all your money goes through, and they open it with their own on-chain transactions, and they charge you fees to do it from themselves, and they change those fees. And sometimes like during the when the whole like mining thing, the whole China mining thing came down, and then Bitcoin transactions were stuck for a while, Phoenix just couldn't send transactions. They shut down basic channel services for like a month or something. I don't remember exactly how long, but they just shut it down because they can't afford to run the infrastructure. So it's basically using a mobile like Lightning wallet is basically exactly like using a bank, except that they can't run away for your money. It's like a bank with an automatic withdraw button that they can't deny you, which is good because it's better than a bank, right? Because a bank can always not withdraw, but it's still the same thing where if there's a bank outage or they want to charge you more fees to send or whatever, that's still there. So I think it's like halfway to where we want to be, which again, I'm not going to bitch too much about halfway, but it's, I want to be all the way, that's just the way I want to do it.
I just
want
have a problem with
financial freedom.
maximalists calling Bitcoin what it might be or what it will be or what it can be. That today, which it is not. And that's where I'm like, Bitcoin is not that. It can be one day, maybe, but it's not today.
Well, that's why I heard a bunch of nonsense stuff about Lightning. I was like, sounds terrible. I didn't use it. And then it was
You know how
like
much
a couple
Bitcoin
of
I've
years
lost
later.
playing with Lightning, bro? I'm so done. Until it is mainstream functioning, I'm done losing money on Lightning.
Yeah. Well, that's why I keep running a node and keep playing around just so I'm like current, because you can't believe anything anyone says in crypto. You got to use it yourself. And of course you can, you're good at doing this stuff. I see with your figures and anything, you're always like playing around with stuff. Whereas a lot of people just regurgitate headlines on their YouTube channels saying, "Oh, this is the best. This is the smart contract of this." It's like, do you even know what that does? Have you done it? Oh, the fees, like EIP 1559 is going to cut fees down so much. And I'm just like, will it? And then it doesn't. And then they're like, man, we just move on. Like people don't use it. Like people don't use any of this stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm a use stuff maximalist. If it were, if you don't use stuff, like I encourage everyone to, like if someone says like, hey, I never bought anything with crypto, it's like, well, you want to start now, like today?
Have you gotten into using NFTs at all yet?
No, that's the one thing I haven't really gotten into. I've looked into it, I've wrapped my head around it. I got Crypto Stash on my show to chat about it, and I'm like, all right, this is cool stuff. And it just, I got to find a good use for it in my life, right? Okay. So to where I like, okay, because I'm not a big collector of things right now, of anything. And it's like, I'm not a big speculator either. So I got to I need to just start buying some and then start issuing some for like my channel. It's like, oh, you're the supporter of the year award or whatever kind of thing. I got to, again, that's another thing on the list of things I got to like figure out. But
a good thing to do would just be start with like, rewarding people. And do you have a Patreon? Mm-hmm. I have like a Patreon, my YouTube. People that like members or people that like routinely like sponsor the channel. I have NFTs that I send them for doing that. Or I was thinking before all that, like I was even going to create one for when people super chat. I would just send them an NFT, so you could create like just badges that people could collect by doing the things they already do in your community or in your like social networks. Yeah. And just create something for that and just give it away for free. You know what I mean? You don't even have to like sell anything, but I feel like you would definitely be able to do like a collectibles yourself, even though you may not be into them. I feel like you'd be able to create some because you have a lot of like crypto history in that head of yours. I'm sure you'd be able to turn into like nostalgic art with yourself and people, like, you know what I mean? You'd be able to do something cool.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's on the list, as they say. It's like on the big list of things to like check out, like when I was like trying to investigate DeFi and stuff, and I'm like, okay, how do I get it? And I did some uniswapping here and there, and I'm like, man, those fees are insane. And
did you try creating your own shitcoin?
No, I haven't quite hit that thing yet.
Oh, that was back when Uniswap was taken off. I checked it out, and I didn't do it hands-on, but I was with a friend, and we went through the process, and it was like $50-$60, and you can make your own shitcoin on Uniswap. It was so great, so easy. I was like, oh, this is why it's every influencer I know is making their own shitcoin and just finding it out of nowhere.
The trick is getting liquidity for it.
It's not hard when you're going to pull the rug. You just provide liquidity yourself.
In that case,
I've seen it.
But I think a lot of people in your position where we're talking about like Bitcoin a lot and Lightning Network. Like one of the most fun ways to play with blockchain is NFTs. I mean, it's in some ways it's the best example to illustrate like what this is good for. And if you're using something like Wax, you'll be like, geez, this is blockchain. How is this like so fast and cheap? I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of interesting things that I've seen people like really, really, really love about it who are like more crypto purists, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as I say, it's on the list. That's the problem is at first, I kind of understand Bitcoin maximalists to a certain extent in that they have a simple life, right? They're just like, number go up. I kind of like wrap their head around the arguments of like, oh, sound money and Saifedean Ammous says this, and like they got like and then they just stick to that, because the problem is once you become a crypto generalist of any kind, just the rabbit hole is insane. Like what more is coming out all the time? Like I just start wrapping around like, how does the library protocol work for all my old decentralized videos that I put up and stuff? And I like wrap my head around that and out of the economics of that, and then oh, well, Ethereum is just the tip of the iceberg. And then I was like, I didn't even know what DeFi was when it came out. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's like the old financial system that I never really paid attention too much at that level of finance in the old system. Now it's like the new system. I got to learn the old and the new. And then like the NFTs and the collectible markets. And then just like there's just supply chain. It's just because blockchain and crypto it's just the tech of the future. It just everything is going to be on something like this in the future. And it's just like, can you imagine being an expert in every single company and industry? That's kind of what it feels like. And so it's like, let me just take as much as I can and focus on what I really think is most important, and then go for it.
Yeah, and then even like a lot of stuff might not even ultimately matter anyway. I mean, there's so much to take in, and it's like by the time we take it in, it might be irrelevant. Like Robinhood, for instance, is going to start doing like wallets with their crypto.
Yeah, you can withdraw.
Yeah, so you
your
can actually
crypto
send
from
your receipt.
Robinhood. Yeah.
So now I see a future where people aren't even going to know really what a crypto wallet is. They're just going to buy it on kind of like where they get their stocks and just send it to where they can do DeFi, and then send it to where they can cash it out. And it'll probably just all be in one place eventually. And we're going to be these nerds that know all this stuff that nobody cares about. And it'll be good for us. But I just think that like we expect everybody to eventually catch on to this stuff, and it's just going to like fly right over their heads.
I think they're going to get crypto to go back to it's like drug dealers and criminals use it. I do know, because it will be like Visa will have like regulations are going to change everything, man. Like the if Visa just forks Bitcoin, just makes their own fucking Bitcoin Visa, Visa Bitcoin or whatever, VBTC. As long as it works and they're allowed to use it because the government says you're allowed to, and they're not allowed to use the other options because the government said you're not allowed to, guess what? Businesses are going to use what they're allowed to use. And I think that's the narrative we're starting to see written right now with the potential regulations coming here in the U.S. where they're going to, say if you're a business and you want to use this, you want to use that, you have to go through these channels. And yeah, we can still do what we want to do. We're not businesses. But that's also like how they're trying to get us to all get vaccinated, because I can't go to a single restaurant that I can't get in because they need proof of vaccine. So I don't have to get a vaccine as a citizen, but businesses are telling me I can't come in unless I get one. So now I'm kind of get painted into a corner of like, well, I see what you're saying. I have the freedom of choice.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the thing also with Visa and stuff. They're going to start saying, we're now processing Bitcoin 100%. Transactions. And then they're going to just say it's totally Lightning, guys, and like put a lightning bolt on it. And in the meantime, do nothing. And then they're going to start doing like fractional reserve Bitcoin at some point. And then
they already are on Coinbase. Audit Coinbase.
This is one of those things that always cracks me up when you see exchanges like implement some like site, either get hacked or implement like a site-wide KYC. There's always that where they never used to. There's always like 10-20% of me that thinks like, you guys are just insolvent and found a great way of like stealing people's money, right? Because
a legal
it's like,
way to steal people's money.
You get hacked. Oh, we got hacked. Like, well, you did the hacking, but whatever. Or with the KYC, like, how many people on Binance of Binance's customers? Again, not talking shit about Binance, but talking shit about Binance, right? What percent of their customers are ever going to do KYC?
I didn't. I actually, whatever's on there is staying on there. My whatever my referral earned is staying. I'm off. I've been there since Binance was under $1. I'm never KYCing that exchange.
Yes, and CZ thanks you for your generous donation.
I bet he does.
Like that's literally what it's a lot of people that are just the wild and loose world of crypto kind of doing that stuff, and now they're like, either it's a pain in the ass, they don't want to do it, or they're just like, I don't want to go to jail if I KYC on Binance or whatever it is. And then now they filled their insolvency. And like, you don't think that Visa is going to like find like undesirables or like they stop process, like you've violated the terms of agreement of this. We're closing down your account, taking your money, like for a controversial political creator who uses Visa. And then all of a sudden, that's how they keep the game going. Like, isn't it kind of the same as like the banking system now? That's the thing about like, it's kind of a danger with doing stuff off chain like Lightning. It's not necessarily a part of that. Like, you can still do it and be completely like, I guess, like free and decentralized or whatever. The problem is it's just so much easier to verify on-chain transactions that you're actually using them than it is to do that. Like, you just trust in them. They're doing all these channels and stuff and managing things. And like, I don't think that like Lightning is necessarily the problem, but I think that the Lightning grift is going to be huge. A lot of people selling this is Lightning, and it's really just like their own little like
The Lightning
Excel
grift. Holy
spreadsheet.
shit! TM that now. That is.
Seriously.
The Lightning
T-shirts,
grift.
everything.
It might not. You're right. That it is coming, and it may not be a household term in crypto Twitter now. But you're right. The bigger the Lightning incentive gets, the grift will grow with it first. I mean, that's with anything, though, right? I mean, we already seen that, and that's also if you're watching, guys, why I'm not a fan of sidechain NFTs. It's like the Lightning of NFTs. I'm on chain, or I'm all right.
Not verifiable, not the same way. Which, speaking of which, maybe the first NFT I'll get done is like a Lightning Grift NFT that just has that like, I can't believe it's not Butterton, but I can't believe it's not Lightning.
I can't believe it's
There
not
you go.
Lightning.
Yeah.
Now you just need to create it or find an artist, and you're good.
Yeah. Should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I think it's like inviting, like even people like Coinbase. I think that they right now they're kind of playing along to protect themselves and things, but ultimately they're going to be on trial too. I mean, once you invite these powers in, they're going to notice something they don't like, and they're like, "Hey, what's this?" And you're going to have to make another deal, and then it gets to the point where you can't really offer them anything else, and they take you down.
Yeah, the year 2025, Goldman Sachs acquires Coinbase.
Yeah, I mean that's one
Interesting. I
reason
mean,
why there was a time when I was skeptical about Eric Voorhees because he's Shapeshift OG, like we all used Shapeshift back in the day, and then he kind of like what I thought was he pussied out too quick.
We all
KYC,
did.
and I was like, oh man, he just is another sellout. And then when he said like, no, we're going Dex, I was like, sure, you destroyed your business. What else you got? But then he's selling me. I'm buying it more. He's like the only big figure who's not hand wringing about like, oh, what are they gonna do? This will destroy crypto in the US. He just like, suck it, I'm doing a DAO, just all the way through. And like that, and then all these people are like getting listed on these big exchanges and stuff like that. And then Thorchain, I like the way that's going. I mean, there's some epic hacks to end all hacks that they have to sail through to get stable. But I really like the idea that it just like not some tokenized wrapped bullshit, but like cross-chain actual like exchange that's decentralized and works. If they pull it off, that's going to be huge. And if they manage to just stay away from the spooks, that's even huger.
My high mind, as soon as you said hacks, went right to ransomware. And then my question came out of, wait, why does ransomware ask for Bitcoin and not Dash? Wouldn't they want some privacy in their lives? Recently somebody was caught.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's a great teachable moment on privacy because they're not it's not a stupid thing to ask for Bitcoin because as the number one most, out there and with history project, first off, you can do the same mixing stuff on Bitcoin as you can on Dash. It just, it's not built in. It's super expensive. It's not as good. Like it just sucks compared to, but you can do the basic same things. The thing about it is like liquidity. So if you steal, like if you get a bunch of Dash with like, let's just say 500 Dash, right? Half a masternode. You get 500 Dash from a ransomware thing. Then you mix it all. So it's just like no one sees where it is. And then 500 Dash shows up in a random exchange that might have been in the same country that they found an IP trace on or something. It's just like, I see what's happening here, right? Like it doesn't matter how good the tech is. If you're an idiot,
I like the honesty. That's really funny though.
But like with Bitcoin, it's the same thing. Like let's just say they get 5 Bitcoin, and then they mix, and it costs like almost 1 Bitcoin in fees because it sucks and it takes forever. But then they send it to like one of the who knows how many exchanges in like different increments and stuff across different jurisdictions, and it's just easier to hide because there's just so much more out there. And that's like like all the Monero people talking about, oh, we don't need exchanges or whatever like that. You should have as many legit exchanges as possible, because if you just have one sketch ass place where it all goes, it's going to be super easy to see like, oh, some guy bought this much, and then the Fed who's a dark web vendor gets a purchase for this amount. They're going to connect the dots to the real person, even if the tech is 100% airtight, So yeah, that's, again, ransomware attacks still probably make sense with Bitcoin today. oddly enough.
I seen that they're trying to write like laws in for this and all these things now. So if you get caught with like ransomwaring and I don't know, it's just like funny that it's like becoming a whole thing now though because of the incentive that because ransomware was always around, but there was like mail me cash in an envelope type shit, or like Western Union, somebody in another country who's probably got ransomware and they're forced to forward it, so they're the tumbler in the mixer, and you know what I mean. So like now it's just so much easier to do it. They're finally like lighting the fires under regulators and lobbying like enforcement on it. Like I think certain businesses are now like requiring to hold crypto assets in case of ransomware. Like it's kind of crazy to think that like, you know, all these businesses are going to have it in case of hack, break glass, hardware wallet full of Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of the whole like NFT thing again about another use case or value is I think it's called like the Great Art Heist or something, or some Netflix miniseries thing about this when a museum in Boston got hacked, got broken into, and a bunch of priceless artwork stolen. They're going through like the value, like the street value of priceless artworks. Is not only is it a great way to launder money for a lot of people, so they'd want to have like a Picasso or something, so they could do that, but also they use that to negotiate down sentences for their boys in the pokey. So they steal a bunch of artwork. Their guy's away for 20 years. He says, hey, can I get out in 10 if I tell you where this Picasso's hanging out? And then, yeah, it works like a bargaining chip.
Damn.
And so I'm thinking like, yeah, it's the same. Like, it's kind of like you want every police, every like, just like every serious criminal enterprise back, I guess, would want some priceless artworks just in case they need to get their boy out. It's probably going to be the same for crypto. Just from the ransomware perspective, because what are the cops going to do? Help you out? Come on, what world are we living in? So they have to be. It's like their insurance policy is buying some crypto just in case they need it to like spring their website out of jail.
I feel like that's the bare minimum on taxation of crypto too. Like, if you want to tax my crypto, the bare minimum should be the government should be able to protect me when somebody harms me in crypto. If you can't do some kind of repercussion to somebody who has wronged me, then you have no right taking money from me because you ain't my pimp.
Yeah, at least be a good pimp.
Right.
We'll find another one, right?
Right.
The love of a pimp is unlike the love. Have you ever seen Idiocracy? They have that whole scene in the beginning on the love of a pimp. And it's
Girl, I can wait so good.
Girl.
That's me. I felt like that for years. Girl, I can make you wait so good.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
But that's how I feel though when it comes to like the taxation and government and all. It's like, hey man, I have no problem paying taxes on all my crypto, whatever. Make up all the shit you want, but when somebody hurts me, I want you to be able to hurt them back for me, like my big brother. And no, man, big brother ain't doing shit in crypto because they can't. So therefore, I feel like it's the biggest taxation without representation there has ever been is taxing crypto. You have no representation here. At least run a fucking masternode or something if you want to take money from me that contribute to the network.
Well,
they don't expose themselves either, though. If they try that and it doesn't go that well, people are like, oh shit, it's the Wild West. We do what we want. So like, I don't think they want to expose how they're going to regulate. I don't think they want to expose who they're targeting or how necessary. That's why we kind of find out in these back channel ways,
it's funny though. Now that the Matrix 4 is coming out pretty soon, I might as well resurrect the old meme of, what if I told you that all taxation is without representation?
I mean, kind of.
But
that's why they force you to pay it.
Yeah.
That's why they force you to pay it, because they wouldn't get you to do it voluntarily, Just like why they force you to
Actually, they would though, because the lottery is like one of the best forms of voluntary taxation, and I feel like if they had more lotteries, they wouldn't need any other forms. Especially if the governments wanted to use NFTs as a form of voluntary taxation and make it crypto lotteries. Oh, dude, the money that they would have, I'd provide to their liquidity pool for some kind of lottery, NFT, whatever.
They need
Lotto token.
They need packs of NFTs, and there's like a few of them that are just like no tax for life. And so everybody's just trying to get these things. And there's other prices, of course, but they could do pretty crazy stuff with NFTs.
Government or buy a raffle. That sounds good to me. What if you can get a sweet ass assault rifle? You pay
Here's
your
the thing,
taxes.
like we don't
Yeah,
really
sure.
want them in on the fun. Like we're all like, it'd be great if they
Mhm.
understood and this and that. It's like it's best that we just keep these worlds separate.
Yeah, they'll
Just-
age
Yeah, 'cause,
out
like-
before this even happens.
Yeah, just keep it up. Just don't even open those doors. Like I've been
No.
having discussions with some people in some interesting places, and all they want to do is, it seems like, use this technology in a way that only benefits them. They don't want to use it if it's going to possibly force them to tell the truth.
Which, you know, it kind of does. Like, how would giant sums of money just disappear? if
Exactly.
It's all on a public chain where everyone can see it, you know?
It scares powerful people, because one of the ways that you utilize and control your own power is through manipulation. And like, you know, if you're at the top, like that's really all you've got once people start to not care about your money anymore. And
Yeah,
you
and
can
that
only
hits back to
manipulate by, you know, go ahead. Sorry.
That goes back to the whole privacy thing. Another thing that's really misunderstood about crypto is crypto's biggest attribute / strength is not privacy, it's transparency.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of a weird projection thing that like all the government spooks are like, well, the dark money, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you know, Bitcoin is like drug dark money. It's like, who in their right mind would do that? In fact, what if you, government spooks, decided to use crypto for everything? Like there'd be some little nerd in his basement, some like 14-year-old kid who just, you know, in between his Minecraft sessions, he just like looks out block explorers. He's gonna find where all your money went. I was like, oh, you mean you gave tanks to who? Like,
well, and that's part of the
they're
problem.
gonna find that out.
Yeah,
You see those documents? You see those documents with all the black lines through it?
Yeah.
That's called mutable data.
Yeah.
You don't think about it.
Mutable data.
So you don't want it. They don't want a situation where they can't cross stuff out and mute what you're able to see, hear, and experience.
Yes. Court documents as NFTs. You heard it here first, right?
There's
Yeah,
no
it's
way
not
to
good.
redact the blockchain. I fucking like that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
because imagine this. Like, what if you got
Oh shit.
like any like a legal deposition or just whatever is like an official document of something that people use today, like doctorable records, right? Birth certificate. Why isn't that an NFT? Because it is non-fungible. There's only one Ken Bozak, at least one that matters. And yeah, you just have your birth certificate on a thing. And like, for example, I grew up in Mexico. My parents are from there. And there's a lot of like favors being done to like get around government nonsense there. Like, oh yeah, I'm a respectable doctor. I'll alter your birth certificate to say this. And like, you know, that's I mean, that's good in that case because getting around nonsense. But like, imagine all the, you know, all the nonsense. Like, can you imagine? Do you remember that whole like, let's see Obama's birth certificate nonsense from like several years ago?
Yeah.
Like, what if he just like, you just went on the NFT Explorer and just saw it, like
Right
just-
next to Donald Trump's tax returns.
Yes, it's all right there. It's just all right there.
It's
And
called the
you
oh
just don't
shit
have to
file.
argue about it. Yeah.
Don't open that file.
Yeah, no, there's always somebody hiding something during a presidential. There's emails, birth certificates, taxes. I'm like, yo, anything that they do, it sounds like a high school fucking king,
think we'll be
prom
choosing
king and
different
prom
DAOs?
queen.
Like there's 3 DAOs running for president for the
Yes,
next 4
I
years.
do. I do. What are your thoughts on that?
So we have
Joey?
our
Think
voting
we
DAO
have
and then
smart contract politicians?
Yeah. Dumb contract politicians.
Yeah, you'd have to there's
Well,
still-
laws can be
really
broken,
messed up.
but protocols cannot. You don't have to enforce a protocol because you can't fucking break it.
Yeah. I mean, you can exploit it, but,
Right,
like
but you-
hopefully it's airtight. That made me think though. Especially this last election and stuff. Like everyone's talking about, oh, you know, fake votes and stuff like that. And then, I mean, if you ever vote, you like walk in and they're just like, hey, are you who you say you are? And like, you don't have to show ID. You just kind of write a thing down. You scribble something in pencil or pen on a piece of paper, shove it into a box, done. Like, how is that secure? Like, from coming away, just seeing the way we handle data in the crypto world and just like, whatever, like, holy shit, like, you believe like this decides which country is going to get bombed? This nonsense we do there.
What we
Oh,
need,
could
why
you
can't we make that
imagine?
you need a
We need
government
to make it
wallet.
secure.
But this is the thing.
Whoa,
It's a
that's so
Pandora's
scary,
box.
bro. Why'd you have to
Pandora's
put that in my
box,
head?
dude.
Sorry.
That's the thing. Like this tech could open a Pandora's box. Like if they're like everybody needs a government wallet so we can give you one token so that you can cast your
There would be
vote. and the longest blockchain wins.
Yeah, but
right?
there would be a show called.
And now you have to do everything through that wallet.
America's Next Top Bombed Country, and we'd be voting on what countries to go to war with. Joel's right. People are fucking trolls.
But you might have groups like ex-military would be in the DAO that decides, how do we enforce our foreign policy? Maybe you'd have like ex-financial people that were in the DAO that decides, what is our financial policy? You have like construction workers and union people like deciding what our infrastructure does.
Sounds like new tech, same problem.
But we can't circumvent our human nature. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's always a difficult thing to figure out. But can you imagine if someone just decides to find a way to be a hoarder of voting tokens, and then he just like becomes the whale,
right?
Just like
the most boring whale ever.
There's just all these whale. And so everyone's like monitoring the like election results to see, here was a whale.
Shit.
He runs a nursing home and collected everyone.
Well, that's what the electoral college. It's the electoral college. It's a voting whale.
Yeah.
Like these are voting whales.
I would just be buying other people's votes. I'd be buying their votes. I give them a shit coin to click here and vote for what I want them to vote on. They prove they voted on what I wanted them to vote on, and then I pay them. That's how DAOs work now. Fuck, dude. I submit a proposal. I need it passed. I'll pay you to vote on it. All right.
Now we can't use blockchain for voting because then you're buying votes and it's pay to play.
That's why I said it's the same tech, new tech, same problem, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, our human nature fucks with everything. It's like the theory of like utopianism. Like, it sounds cool for everybody to have a perfect life, but is somebody going to be able to handle that responsibility of delegating the perfect lives, or do they just make their life so much better than everybody's because they just can't help it? We're weird.
Yeah.
Humans are messy. But I love all of you.
That's the thing about like the messiness of it is sometimes just what we're doing in crypto is pushing the gas pedal. It doesn't matter where we're going, we're just going there faster. And that is a little scary and stuff could go pretty wrong. But I think that's ultimately like too many people focus on let's just see how we can pretend human nature isn't human nature and like, it's not going to work this way, it's not going to work that way. Just let it run to its logical conclusion and self-correct, and so that's part of why, like, for example, all that, like, that's what the government does, of course, is control who can invest in what and how and all this kind of stuff, accredited investor nonsense. And then crypto just turned that on its head. And you know what? Has it been perfect? No. There's been a lot of people who've gotten wrecked. There's a lot of whales. There's a lot of, but has it been better than the old system? I think yes. So it's just messy, but it's better. And so whenever we work into like going to DAOs and stuff, and that becomes the lay of the land, it's not just like a couple random things experimenting here and there. When the world starts, your homeowners association is a DAO and stuff, and then there's going to be all kinds of like nonsense around that, but it's going to be better than what we have right now, I think.
Do you think we'll just feel again like we have no voice?
Yeah, everyone's going to feel like that. But I think
it's another human condition thing. We need
louder
voice.
people will
We need
always
this,
have
we
more
need
of a
that.
voice,
Yeah, just yell.
And those traditional, means that people are used to, that they want that safety, it doesn't really save them. Like, this is a little Wild Westy, but so's the other shit. It's just a little Wild Westy with velvet rope around it.
Walk down the street like in a normal city somewhere. Like walk down the street in Brooklyn, like you might run into trouble. Walk down the street in Chicago, you might run into trouble. Like that's crypto. That's any branch of finance. It's everything.
My comparison for that is the Theranos or whatever.
Theranos, yeah. The lady,
the lady with the voice and the blood test.
Elizabeth something.
Dude, she raised like $1 billion or 10 billion valuation in its peak. I just wanted to look it up because I went through. But
just with a Steve Jobs impression.
For real. Yeah. And you think, this is like the big connect of the stock market right there. That Theranos shit, dude. It was so big connect. It was insane, dude. But it still happened to people on Wall Street who had all those safety nets, who thought it was worth it to have safety nets and sacrifice their freedoms for the safety. And then realize, wait, what was all that sacrifice of freedom for if there was actually no safety from these things?
Those big scammers are always, the Madouts of the world. They're always going to find a way to scam. And it's not like crypto is producing new scammers, really. It's just the same old people, the same people with like the Nigerian Prince bank account stuff was always a thing before, was people saying bro please and looking for stuff on crypto. The difference is the little guy can't get in the old system. In the new system, any schmuck can just write some code in their basement and make it huge, like Vitalik. I mean, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, you don't have to be a
Weird,
Lehman
skinny
brother to start a bank.
Yeah.
You can be a Vitalik who just started
Yeah,
Bank 2.0.
and like he couldn't exist in the old world. He would just be like working for someone and maybe like laid off because he dreamed too much.
Dude,
or
he
something.
almost
Like,
didn't exist in this world, Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Bitcoiners, maximalists, developers
Yeah.
didn't want him or any of his ideas. He almost
Yeah,
didn't belong here. So, just saying.
but that's the
And-
beauty of it, though. The
Yeah.
tech,
That's the positive of human
it's
nature.
open.
Yeah, anybody,
That
anybody
thing where
can
we're
do
just
it.
like, I'm gonna do it, even if you,
Mhm.
in some ways, like, if you look at his family and stuff, they didn't have like all these advantages and things. I mean, they're a pretty normal family. And here's a guy who sort of dared to dream and like kind of quit the path he was on to do something else. Like essentially left schooling, left all these things to just do this one thing. And it's like whether it works out or not the way people think it should or could, it's like that's kind of the American spirit in a lot of ways, and just the human spirit in a lot of ways is a better way to put it, because it's not all about us here in the U.S. I think, yeah, it says
Canadians
a lot
have
about
some
us.
love, too.
Yeah, yeah, and he's
Yeah, those Canadians have it
Canada,
rough enough as it is.
but no, it's so crazy how nice all Canadians are too. Like they're
Yeah,
nice
I mean, except for the ones who work for the government, they're kind of mean these days.
I haven't met
kind
many.
of beating the shit out of
Canadian
people for
government.
walking out on the streets.
Oh damn.
Yeah, where you're, dude, I've been seeing so many YouTube videos of cops in Canada enforcing mask laws and not wearing masks themselves. Just like, dude, the hypocrisy is
It's tough.
it's so blatant, bro. It's disgusting. It's like, put your mask on, and they're like yelling at you, get on the ground, put your mask on, and all. I'm like, but you're spitting
Dude.
in that person's face, officer. Like, you put your mask on, officer.
It's like a naked dude telling you to put your pants on. This is ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
which that could be another NFT.
A naked man say, put your mask on. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Can
kind
I
of
be the naked man? Can we collaborate on this one?
Let's do it. I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
You can send it to him.
Do you remember the Quarantinis?
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Corey
Yeah, there was a
Cobb,
time when a bunch of, I guess
Unfortunately,
Instagram girls
yeah.
and probably other places were just putting those little like masks as like a bikini and stuff. That was like big for a couple weeks. I don't know. Maybe it was big for way longer in the circles that Ken frequents. I try to keep
guys
things,
were
like,
wearing them
office-friendly.
as bathing suit bottoms, and I remember seeing somebody had like a corn cob mask and put it on his junk and wore it like Borat, but it was like a corn cob mask in
Yeah.
his junk. It was so funny. I was like, all right, bro, that's funny.
Yeah, it's like
that's
Red
the
Hot
one I
Chili
remember.
Peppers stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why I
Like a
remembered
sock.
it.
It reminded me, I went to a long t-shirt party where it was like you're just supposed to wear a t-shirt that's like almost to your knees, and then like you can't see your pants. So like you
Actually,
I bet
were in
too
underwear and
many
long
people
t-shirt.
were too many people were probably shirt cocking it though.
I didn't wear anything under my t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I've seen these parties. Could we make that catch on? Is this something we can do?
Depends
we're in
on
like
where.
the hashtag Me Too generation. I ain't doing nothing, bro. I'm staying in my room
You're right.
by myself. By myself. You can't cancel me if I'm alone.
Yeah, you proactively
know, man.
wear a chastity belt everywhere you go, just in case.
Practically.
It's like I ain't taking no risks anymore.
I wear a t-shirt. I'm gonna start wearing a t-shirt that says "might have herp."
I mean, we all essentially wear a
We
chastity
all
belt
might
everywhere.
have it.
Talking
just
about
saying.
crypto
So
all
I'm
the
just gonna
time.
wear a shirt, maybe.
Yeah.
Be like my chastity belt. So
yeah, that's another good NFT. Bitcoin is my chastity belt.
I mean, it is. You talk about crypto to women, there's no way that they're going to pay attention.
I wanted to wrap up on like NFT privacy talk and why I think it would be
Mhm.
important to see people be more concerned with privacy when using NFTs, especially in the Ethereum environment. People seem to just not give a shit until it's too late, unfortunately, and become targets or get caught. Like the people working at OpenSea recently got caught market making with NFTs because
Doesn't look good.
no privacy. So like there's a whole slew of reasons, why, and yes, some of them are nefarious, but some of them are for personal protection. So just wanted to throw both up, but I think, not enough artists that make and sell NFTs are concerned with their privacy. Some have, concerns with their identity, so they have like a pseudonym like Dr. Seuss or some shit, right? And they get doxxed. I've seen plenty of artists doxxed, even by just being caught, working 2 Twitter accounts. So I'm just, thinking when we start to see privacy-based NFT focus, like I know Fluffy Pony was really talking about it before he got arrested, with I think it was called Tari, not Atari, just Tari. It was like an NFT on Monero thing for games and stuff. But I'm just curious, like, do you think we could see Dash introduce a level of optional layer of privacy for NFTs and what that could do for collectors and artists and just the NFT environment, which is having a layer of privacy, which none of them do?
Yeah. So definitely. Now, that goes to, again, the deeper question on privacy, on what exactly are you hiding? Because the point of an NFT is to have it be public, like everyone can see it. Now, it's like verifiable. You don't want to, now it's just like, what are you hiding? Are you hiding where you send it to? Are you hiding
the fact that that my address sold it for how much money? If I buy a wax NFT for $1 last year and I sell it for 100,000 this year, it's right there. This wallet bought it. This wallet sold it. Here's the end. I mean, just now, if I'm in North Korea doing this, that's a real fucking problem, man. I could be murdered by my government.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you could do with that for sure. I don't know if it's it's probably something you want to use something like zero knowledge proofs to fix. I don't know exactly where, because a lot of the privacy people aren't talking about NFTs at all. It's kind of like a different world. And so I'd be interesting to see in how this kind of thing takes place. But that's the thing, is like the NFT itself carries with it just a lot of other data around the financial aspects of it, right? Like the sale, who's it going to? Is there a royalty commission and things like that? Like that whole thing is definitely going to be very useful. Well, here's the thing, and because it's been so freaking late, and it's, I hate to talk about like the whole like Dash Evolution username thing, because it's been freaking forever, and I'm like, just like I have been using the testnet wallet for 6-8 months or something like that, so I know there's something there. But the way those usernames work is I could friend you on the Dash blockchain, and there's a connection made between us, and then every single time I have an interaction with you, that's completely private. So even though like you send and it's to like a public blockchain address, like if you're sending money, that stuff is public, but like all our data between each other that's being sent back and forth is private. And so, for example, if you just say like, hey, like I transfer this NFT to this username or whatever, you don't have a public necessary like trace behind that kind of thing. It's
so
just
when I say
associated with
kenbozak.eth, you can send me ETH. Well, just because I gave you that username for my Ethereum wallet for you to send me $1 for the coffee I bought you at the store, you can now look at everything I have done with that address and what it holds, and follow it. And now maybe one day something in my wallet takes off, and everything about it. And that becomes a problem.
And that's one of the big reasons why I was really, I've been like really sticking by this whole Dash username thing, even though it's, super freaking late and I can't, of course I'm annoyed at that, is because there is no like association like that. Like I have to make a connection with you, and then I could send it 1,000,000 times over and no one sees that happening, right? They just see money on a blockchain, but unless there's no associating thing between the username and the actual address. And so that's kind of like what makes it cool.
Somebody in my chat just said they're going to register kenbozak.weed as my wallet and gift it to me. Thanks, Swag.
Yeah. That'll be good. kenbozak.weed.
Swaggy
just-
TV
yeah.
on YouTube, man. Thank you. That's hilarious. KenBozek.weed. I do
I
have
read that as
KenBozek.crypt. Swage? Oh, Swaggy.
Swage. Could be.
Swage.
It's probably swaggy.
I'm
just
like
calling it
American
Swage 'cause I'm sure it
dyslexic.
pisses him off.
Swage sounds way cooler.
Swage. The
Swage.
artist formerly known as
Swage.
Swage.
Squeegee.
Well, it's age with an SW, so it would be Swage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Swage.
Now
It's a very serious
should-
name.
He should get a domain called swage.slave.
What? What?
Sway. Exactly. That's
I get
that's
it.
the reaction I was looking for. Like a
I thought you were
wage
gonna say
slave.
swage.eth, and then it's
Oh,
just
he
like,
broke
no.
it down in the chat. Swage.
oh, sewage,
Swage.
Sewage.
Yeah.
It's
Sewage.
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 like
Now,
a
sewage
sewer.
slave doesn't sound as sexy.
No, it's not.
I'm a slave to sewage.
We butchered the fuck out of that name, bro. I'm sorry. He's like,
Sorry.
it's sewage,
Yeah.
bro.
We love
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Buy his NFT anyway. That's
That's
Mr. Sewage.
hilarious. Yeah,
By
man.
that sewage
But
NFT.
with that just in mind, I think people that aren't concerned with privacy because they're not doing anything wrong, or whatever. That's cool, but it's the whole like potential victim thing, man. Like,
Mhm.
people's neighbors rob each other when they see fucking flat screen trash and the big TVs around Christmas in the trash. Like, your neighbor will fucking rob you because of the
Especially your
trash they
neighbor.
see. They do, though. That's the thing. It happens.
Yeah.
And you never know which neighbors may be hungry, and not because some people just don't ask how their neighbors are fucking doing. And that's why that
Mhm.
shit happens.
Dude, I grew up in the Chicago area. We had a lot of home invasions.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
people
that's
kick your door in with bats and shit.
Because your
it's pretty
friends
crazy.
know you don't have a gun. It's the safest house
Yeah.
to rob on the block.
yeah. I mean, little known fact: Chicago is like ancient Cherokee for like home invasion. So
It is.
What?
no, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think it's
I'm Googling this
Algonquin.
now. Fact checkers fact checking me. I'm getting demonetized.
I think it's Algonquin. Actually, it's one of the. There's a lot of different nations up there. Actually, there's a lot
Yeah.
of different. It's.
But I'm just saying, like, you never know when you're gonna have a crypto kitty in your wallet and it's worth $1, and then one day it's worth 25 million, and somebody knows, and you don't remember they know, and that's gonna be a problem, and it's only gonna get more and more problematic, especially as the gaming NFT space grows. We're getting more kids involved. These kids are walking. It's already a problem that you have a 7-year-old kid walking to school with a $1,200 iPhone in their hand. Like, that's stupid. Like, that is so fucking dumb. You never. Oh, I don't want nothing bad to happen to my baby, but I'm gonna put a pinata on its head. Like,
Yeah.
you
Wait till he has $1
stupid.
billion
Boom.
game.
Exactly. Wait until they're playing fucking Uplift in Minecraft and their account's worth $100,000. One of their friends tells a friend who tells a cousin who told their uncle was a criminal, and now little Timmy's getting jacked on his way to 2nd grade because he's worth 6 figures on a 5-figure phone. It's
Yeah,
a problem
that-
that these kids are going to have to grow up with because we're not thinking about them. We're not solving that
Yeah.
problem for them.
That is the kind of funny thing is like the money for like the KYC element of things. Like if you're a kid, you can't have money. But then now that money is anything that anyone can dream up for any purpose, now anyone can have money. And it's this kid with these heavy bags and just doing all this nonsense or hacking hardware wallets or whatever. It's a completely different world, and we kind of haven't really prepared people for it. And I think putting people through school, like as long as they go, learning as little as they do, taking forever to grow up is a disservice because they just never learned about like money or human nature or anything like that. And then now the world is grown up. They're having, 13-year-olds like a big bag of NFT cash, and they don't know what to deal with it. And their parents or their society is just like, wait till you're out of grad school in your mid-20s, then you'll start learning about that stuff. And they're just unprepared, Start teaching kids about money now.
And privacy now. Matt said in the
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
not everyone deserves a trophy. Kids are too cuddled and spoiled, and that is not what I'm trying to get at, bro. Every kid deserves privacy and protection and security. All of them. And the problem is we're baiting them with these expensive phones and watches and fucking Air Forces on their feet. Like, kids are targets now, man. Like, and the world's getting real hungry all around them. and everybody's parents wants to pretend like it's okay and everything's fine, like the dog in the burning house meme, and buying their kids expensive things, and they don't even have college funds. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they're playing these games and they're going to get wealthy, bro. Bottom line, like these kids, the paradigm shift is the youth today. The youth today are going to grow to be the wealth of tomorrow. They're just, the paradigm is them, and they're going to be playing these games. The new economy is game economy, bro. Like, watch the episode of Black Mirror, and you'll see what I'm getting at. And I just think if we don't consider the privacy factor for, they're going to grow up in a world of targeting. There are a lot of fucking headhunting's going to happen in this world where there's too much transparency.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing that hits me is so many people have gotten, like, looping all the way back around to like the digital cash thing. Too many people have gotten too comfortable with not caring about that use case because they're just like, I make a bunch of money on Bitcoin or NFTs. I'm going to cash out to my bank account. It's okay. And it's like going through the fiat system, or I'll just have like a Bitcoin backed debit card. It's just like, you know, the crypto. Have you seen the crypto.com ads on like every YouTube video?
Crypto.com is a scam, by the way. But yeah.
Yeah,
really.
I mean,
it's not like a real rewards program. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I was about to go off on that.
But like, people are getting crypto rich. They thinking they're financially free, and then they go spend it through this shitty ass debit card that has their money and again, I'm not saying I'm an expert on the crypto.com card specifically, but I'm just saying in general, they hold your money and then they KYC you and then they rat you out to whoever. It's just terrible.
They also charge you beforehand. You have to stake their coin for order them to then KYC you. So it's a bank. It's the worst. I literally hate crypto.com.
When they want your money in that debit form so that they can, again, do fractional reserve banking. I mean, it's just like getting it all back to that thing again. They're trying to like kind of reroute everything to those conventional rails.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like, you know, recently is like, I am too unbanked to use Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin's becoming so banked, I don't feel like I can even use it as much as I used to be able to use it.
It's cool kid money now.
Well, here's the cool thing though, right? So there's this app out called Dash Direct. I think Ken's probably heard about it before. But basically, it lets you spend your Dash at like 155,000 plus merchants around the U.S. And you can save like 6% or more or whatever. And no KYC and no custodial stuff. So literally what happens, it kind of works on the back end, sort of like a gift card type system, but it's smooth enough you can do it at the point of sale. So like if I want a burrito from Chipotle, I want to save 1.5% there. I walk in, they tell me how much it is, like $12.98 or whatever, because I get extra walk. And so I go over there and put $12.98 into the app, hit buy, opens up my Dash wallet, hit buy. I get a QR code, they scan it, and there you go, it's paid. And the only time my crypto leaves my person is when I buy the actual thing for the exact amount down to the cent. And there's none of this custody nonsense, and there's none of this KYC nonsense. You can just kind of keep doing. And it's like now everyone can kind of live on crypto in the US pretty easily.
Yeah.
And without this, like, as you said, you're too legit for like the way Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm too unbanked for Bitcoin, man.
Yeah.
Bitcoin got too banked for me. Like, everybody wanted the bankers to come to Bitcoin, and then they show up, and I'm like, wait, they like literally ruined it for people like me.
Dude, when it dawned on me was when we were at the Miami Crypto Experience. And we were learning about like some of the Bitcoin 2021 stuff, and that's when it dawned on me. I was like, oh man, like this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I knew before that, but that's when it like really sunk it in. I was like, shit.
The only way to really use Bitcoin as Bitcoin is to wrap it, put it on Ethereum, and play in DeFi. Because that's it.
That's a good use case, dude. Because
it's a great use case for
Ethereum. Getting a lot of interest on. You know, but it's good for both people. Like if you were an early Bitcoin adopter and you have like this giant,
I gotta sign up for that Dash Direct.
You want to get into DeFi because you're like, wait a minute, I can't get my gains on this.
I bet there's an app on Android, isn't there? I swear I saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there is an app. There's been a few people making videos. There's this one guy in like Seattle who uses it every day, and because he posts about it on Twitter. I went to Applebee's.
Holy shit, guys! Like, already I have over 100,000 downloads just on Android.
Wow.
And that's just in the States here. I know they don't do the reviews across the country.
we'll just have to make sure you're using the right one. That might be like the DoorDash one or whatever. But
Is it
point
by
being-
Payfare?
no, it's by CrayPay.
Cray. That's cray.
Dash Direct?
Yeah. Yeah, it just came out not too long ago.
That's what I was going to say. I can't believe it had that many. It says, this is it?
No, that's not it. I think it autocorrected the Dasher Direct or something, which is what they use for the DoorDash thingy, I think.
Oh,
But-
I think it's still, okay, this makes more sense. 100 plus downloads. That's
Yeah,
what I was like,
that's
damn, they have
what it was.
100,000 already? That would be insane, bro.
Yeah. It's so, I mean, it kind of goes back to, again, this is my last bitch fest, and then I'll be done. I got to talk shit about Bitcoin Magazine in particular.
I got it, so I'll get it.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah, Bitcoin
Because-
Magazine.
Those guys have been around forever.
They used to be okay, and then at some point they went super hard maxi and like stopped doing alt content. And then but then here's the thing. They've been nonstop like talking about El Salvador. And they keep on posting. The thing is, they keep on posting like people in line to use an ATM owned by the government
Yeah.
to get cash out and being like, look how awesome Bitcoin is. And it drives me nuts. Like, so first off, the Chivo wallet, whatever, it's provided by the government. It's like a enterprise that the government is in bed with, which is known as fascism, right? If you know that term, right? It's the private public union right there. And so like, it's like people, if you're lining up to use the ATM at Bank of America, at least there's a few other banks. I mean, they're all kind of embedded together a little bit, but it's just like they're celebrating people using a centralized service run by the government. Like, oh, 1.6 million Salvadorans are on the government wallet. And it's like, wait, is this really the point of Bitcoin? To like celebrate fascism? To get on the government's direct like control over your money? Right now they have indirect control over your money. And so like every day Bitcoin Magazine is showing government control over money. I can't help but think that like Satoshi's rolling in his grave or whatever. or Craig Wright doesn't care, whatever.
Oh,
Damn.
oh, you know what though? At this point, I'd rather Craig be Satoshi than we never know. I think I've settled on the fact that like, fine, he is. If you Google who is Satoshi 10 years from now, Craig Wright's going to show up. He's nailed the SEO. I think that was like his game plan all along. Was like, I'm just going to write history. Like history is as you write it. If you say you are Satoshi, 50 years from now, I still think Napoleon was a short guy. He was an average height human being. Somebody
They were just
trolled
talking
him,
smack.
and look where it took him. Now there's a Napoleon complex. Like that's a thing based off of something that was. So I think he might be Satoshi in a fucking 100 years. So I'm cool with that. I think
You can have a Satoshi complex.
that's
Well, you know where they have the statue that they unveiled of Satoshi that looks like, someone in Blue Man Group or whatever the hell, like that weird looking statue. At some point in the night, like I like to just as a troll swap it out for like a statue of Craig Wright and just see how long until someone notices. But not for like a year. Like give a year when people stop taking pictures of it and then just swap it out and then just be like, no, it's been this way all along, man. You just like they were lying to you. The banksters were lying to you. It wasn't Craig Wright.
Ken and I saw
It
a
would
guy
be worth
once.
the troll.
Oh, we
Yeah,
found.
Yeah, we like this is my vision of how this is who I hope Satoshi is. We saw a guy at like an abandoned security kiosk. He had wired himself into the electricity there, and he had like I think a couple computers set up, like good computers. And he seemed like a homeless guy, but he was like sitting there typing away at some shit, dude. He was working on something, and it was actually pretty incredible. And we kind of walked by smoking a blunt. Like, do you see that?
Where was this?
Downtown Philly.
Yeah, it's like near South
Sounds like
Street.
a downtown Philly thing. But yeah, I mean,
It was wild.
yeah, I
man.
mean, are you sure it wasn't Ken?
I reached out and touched him. He was there. We made out. No, I'm just kidding. But
Like I say, like,
I did touch him. He was there.
yeah, that's gonna be like that's like the roots of this whole thing. And I can't. I hope that there's always people like that in crypto. Like,
Yeah.
again, assuming he's in crypto, whatever. But I'm just
But that's the thing. Like, that's who we want it to be. Like, that's like a superhero to us.
Yeah,
cool.
like I can't, like I hope there's still someone who, you know, all those like self-serve kiosks, all the restaurants, like he just goes to Applebee's and then like makes it start like mining Bitcoin in the background. And just
Right.
just like I hope there's always those people out there,
Yeah.
just, you know, living their best life, you know.
Yeah, it's good for us. It kind of gives us hope that like this thing is what we thought it was.
Yeah,
I don't even know. It doesn't even look like my fingers were crossed there. I tried. There we go. I guess we could wrap things up here. I just realized we went over the hour mark by a half hour. I hope Nathan didn't have a real job to do today. Yeah, it's almost 1:30. My bad, bro.
It's all good. No, this is such a good conversation.
Yeah, I'm usually good at keeping track of time for you.
I noticed, but I didn't want to stop
Sorry.
because I was enjoying
All right,
it.
good. As long as you didn't have anything that you missed. I hate when
I'm good till 1:45. So.
Well, I figured we could wrap things up here. Just
Yeah.
wanted to say, you know, Bro, let them know where they could follow you and, you know, get in touch with your content.
Yeah, so on Twitter, which is always a nice place because I'm always there, I go by the Desert Links, not the Desert Linux. Desert Links, the dry place and kitty cat. Put that in the live chat, and that's kind of like me personally. But my show is called Digital Cash Network. Pretty easy to let me put that into. And
Wait,
that's on
I'm not
YouTube.
following you? I wasn't following you? I just
Oh,
followed
you
you
mean-
live on air, by the way. That's how embarrassed I am. How was I not
You mean you
following you?
You mean my Twitter thingy?
Yeah.
Well, I think you were because we were like DMing back and
Yeah,
forth.
that might have
Like,
been
how
a
are you
glitch.
DMing?
I don't know. That might have been a glitch because
You
it
might
said
have-
I
did you
wasn't.
just- Let me just see if you unfollowed me just now. Oh, you're following me, so that's good.
Yeah, that's
All right.
weird. Okay.
So anyway,
As long as
and
it's
then
following.
yeah, and then my little crypto channel thing is Digital Cash Network, and that's on YouTube. Although I prefer Odyssey because it like runs on blockchain and shit, and you know, not everyone cares about that these days, but I do. So that's kind of where to find me, and make sure you have a coin tree, right, Ken?
Yeah, I put up yours.
Yeah.
I put up your coin tree.
Nice.
I just posted
Someone-
your YouTube link in the comments.
I believe it was what's his name, Jonathan, sent me a little coin tree message. So thanks, man. He was like in the live chat from like way earlier. But yeah, so everyone throw Ken some weed money. Not like he needs it, but he would like it. He would like it.
Actually, bros, if anybody wants, they can, because I am actually out of dabs and weed today.
Oh, shit.
no!
Come over.
Hence the lack of smoking on this podcast. Usually
Get on a
I'm
Yeah,
plane
you
and
got it
come
all
over.
live. Well,
But
you
I-
lost your mind at the beginning, so that's.
I know that dab was insane, bro. Like
Mhm.
that was.
You guys
way
saw what I
too good.
have.
Whew. Yeah. You're a good day drive away though, bro. That would be an expensive Uber.
I almost drove to DC the other day to get it because
Oh,
I was like, man, yeah, I'm like very committed.
Oh, one of my friends just told me there's a place that like delivers in New Jersey because it's recreational now, and they just opened like a local delivery place. It's like on Weed Maps, so I'm gonna like check out Weed Maps later.
Wait till the Berlin Mart has a weed store.
Don't you dare, bro. Those Amish would
Yeah.
never let that fly. I'm pretty
You're
sure.
like, don't tease me.
No, I love
Yeah.
those people. Like I used to go there and hang out with the Amish all the time that run the place, but they're like for real old school. They would never let people sell even legal drugs. They don't even let people sell liquor out of there. There's no like you notice there's no liquor store
Yeah.
in the mart?
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't play, bro. They're OGs.
And there's a lot of people that definitely want to drink.
Yeah, the Berlin
Like,
Mart.
you can tell people are like drinking in the parking lot and then coming back in.
They are. It's like tailgating. Isn't that funny, dude? It's like
Dude, it's
you're
so
tailgating a flea market. That's how boring New Jersey is.
Yeah, you just need one of those like Camelback runners things, and like you
Oh,
sip it,
yeah.
like pretending it's water, but it's really vodka. Just
It's
straight
vodka
Weed
lemonade.
is not okay in Dubai. That's why I have never gone to Dubai. I just got invited to Dubai at a conference, and I just asked them the same question, and they were like, "Bro, you'll go to prison." I'm like, "Oh yeah, well then I'm not going."
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if you just do edibles? Then
Yeah, don't do-
Yeah, I'm
that.
not gonna do anything that could get me in trouble. Period.
Get you like decapitated.
Right. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
be
they'll-
that guy.
It's like, what's the punishment? It's like they'll hang you.
That's not how
You're
you're
like,
going
oh,
down.
shit.
Like 1 Bitcoin, or we cut off your left hand. I'm like, well, I'm not going. I'm just not gonna put.
Ugh.
Because I know I'll
Yeah.
get in trouble smoking in Dubai. I already know it. Somebody will be popular and rich and be okay, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got weed," and they'll give it to me, and then I'll lose them, and then I'll get in trouble. I already know it.
Yeah.
One of my buddies who lives
That's
over
how it
there
works.
said that they have a lot of the pins, but it's very rarely that you catch somebody like smoking a joint.
Yeah,
It's like serious.
I respect the laws in Dubai because I see how serious they are about enforcing them.
Same.
Like for real, for real.
Love and respect to
Yeah.
you, Dubai. We
Yeah.
love you.
I
Keep
also
going there,
would
no
love
weed.
to go just because it's like the only place in the world you could randomly walk down the street and find practically a free Lamborghini.
I was just gonna say, when we're there, please don't pull over my Rolls Royce or my Lamborghini.
Yeah, but they're all free. They have
Yeah.
so many Lamborghinis on the side of the road in Dubai, and they're all like free.
It's just Uber. Your Uber driver comes up.
Somebody
and,
got like a flat
Rolls
tire on their
Royce.
Lambo, and they just left it on the side of the road. And this other guy ran out of gas.
Yeah.
He left his Lambo on the side of the road.
And then cars like Lotus. People are like, "What is that? A Lotus? Look at that piece of crap. Get that thing out of here." You're like, that's a pretty hard to find car in the U.S. Like, nah.
They don't like
thing
they
outta
don't like
here.
booze there, do they?
No, nothing.
No.
That's why I say I respect it because that's good
So-
shit. But I like
But-
to get fucked up.
They like caffeine though, right? Let's go down the drug totem pole at caffeine. If I can be blasted out of my mind on coffee, like to where I'm like, am I gonna be tweaking on coffee? Then
I
I'll
think
go.
painkillers too.
Yeah,
think
Starbucks
people
might be
just-
really popular there.
Yeah.
Sewage
Swage.
said, message me anytime you come to Dubai. I gotta rent a car. Oh, word? Bro, you
That's
should
what's
DM
up.
me. Seriously though, DM me on Twitter because there
Hit
might
me
be
up,
a
too.
day I do go to Dubai because so many of my friends keep going
Yeah.
out there and
I
booze,
just turned down an
booze is
invite.
allowed. You get it everywhere, and shisha also. Oh,
Mm,
Nice. Hey, I could have had my art in like a big
Okay.
art show out there, and I said no because of the flight and the weed. So
well,
that's how serious I am.
I'm rare enough with the weed that like I don't care. Like I'll as long as they have like you get a stiff. The caffeine is the big one. If ever I have to go to a place that doesn't have coffee, I'm just gonna be miserable. I'm not.
You
gonna
need
go.
your espresso. I saw the,
Yeah,
the,
I
the
need-
white cup earlier.
Yeah, I need something, a little something to take the edge off the day.
that's what this is for.
Yeah, I got that.
Usually I don't need that much.
I mean,
stuff's
honestly, I
everywhere.
did a pretty big dab, and my energy levels are
Mhm.
still pretty high. So I feel like any uppers for me are dangerous, dude. If I do like a Red Bull, I have to like rearrange my room and house and clean, and I better have some physical shit to do if I do caffeine. I can't sit down and do a podcast on caffeine.
Yeah, I drank way too much of it, and I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, you haven't shut up
Crazy.
like the whole episode was like 90% you.
I have like panic attacks because I'm
you've
like
been
having.
I've been good.
I like the
I
T
got my
zone. You
words
should
in.
have helped.
yeah, it's like
He
you
got-
should have spoken up more. No,
Yeah, if it was a problem, Ken never would have gotten to get the Dash Direct app. The fact that he got that through means you're not a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm happy I actually downloaded it because I did just get a brand new phone. So the fact that I have it on here is good because I'll actually be able to like sign up and use it. So, and I needed to get something. I don't have anything right now. I actually have a business now. I have like an LLC, bro, and I have like a business account and a bank account for the business, and I have a credit card for my business's bank account. So like, I have a credit card now. It's kind
you
of
should
cool.
use that thing to get on a plane and come to Greensboro right now.
Yeah.
I have
See-
tons of stuff that you want.
So here's the thing, ready? And I would do that, but my
Mm.
calendar.
Don't show me that. It hurts.
Yeah, my calendar.
I hate seeing your calendar.
It's
Mine
like
stresses me out
at
enough.
least 3 things on every day. So until Bros 420 memberships are launched and over with, I can't do shit, man. So Christmas time, I'm looking to go to Jamaica. So if anybody wants to celebrate their crypto gains on Christmas, I'm potentially going to Jamaica, and people who are lonely like me and want to hang out and cuddle and smoke weed on the beach, we should all go around Christmas. So I'm looking at
Let's do
Christmas in Jamaica for myself to celebrate the fact that I can't do shit, bro. Every day, all day is Bros 420.
Yeah.
I mean, you
sounds
need
good.
Is there a strain called Christmas in Jamaica?
A strain.
There will be.
There will be.
I'm like, wait. Yeah,
We
Christmas in
actually
Jamaica.
know people that can make that happen. You know, there's like tons of strains just unnamed
Shout out to Rudy.
sitting around, just like sitting
You know,
around different places.
That reminds me, some scientist by the name of Kevin McKiernan, he sequenced the genome of the Jamaican lion cannabis strain and he put it on the Dash blockchain to make sure it
Ooh.
wouldn't be patent trolled by other people.
Oh
That's
wow.
crazy. They should
long
do that
time
with
ago, but yeah.
DMT.
Wait, wow, that's sort of like an NFT in a
5
sense,
MMOD.
even though
Yeah,
it's like
a
because the
crude NFT,
right,
I guess.
because it's a fungible, non-fungible token. It's almost like 1155 in a sense, because the token that
Yeah.
he used to send that in the memo would be like the issuing token, but now it's all mixed up and you don't know where it went. But it was essentially
Mhm.
a fungible, non-fungible token because like the first NFT was Namecoin in 2014, I think. Namecoin
Yeah.
used the hyperlink in the memo and technically was the first NFT because that token, no matter where it went, had that in its history, in the transaction history. So it was, I don't know, it was weird, but Namecoin technically, anyway, I'm
It's
rambling.
cool. No, I like that. No,
They tried
nerd
it. They
history
got
is
it.
great.
They got it going.
This is the thing. Like, you need an NFT series called, blockchain history, and just dudes like you just ramble about all these things. Like, that's actually interesting
I
stuff.
think
The Namecoin
I
thing.
think somebody took my idea and ran with it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. If it doesn't exist, somebody should still do it. But I think somebody hit me up about they were going to take it and run with it. This
Good.
day in crypto as an NFT, and every day mint an NFT with a little fact about this day in crypto, and you have like 12 years of history to pick something about this day. So you have 12 days of this day every day to see what happened in history. Make an NFT, mint it, sell it.
Yeah, there's enough lead time where you're never going to catch up with yourself. It's
So
cool.
I just some random dude from Belarus was selling these on Instagram, so I bought one. Like a whiskey set with like Dash logos on the glass and stuff. I don't have it
Hell
in here.
yeah.
I should bring it out. But like, so I got one of those, and if I just do that with like a blazer with like the elbow pads on it and like a leather thing with enough books in the background, I'm just like, here, children, let me tell you a story of the olden days. And, like that could be good, like History
That'd be
Channel,
great.
3-piece tweed suit, and just like, that
Oh,
could
can
be
see
day.
it.
Fuck.
That'd be
Yo,
amazing.
I will sponsor this. I got 10 grand right now. 10,000.
That'd be so
Alright.
good.
I will donate. I will pay. I will spot. I got $10,000. I want to find somebody at Comedy Central who will do drunk crypto history.
Ooh.
And we get Joel drunk to talk about the history of fucking Bitcoin on Drunk History on Comedy Central.
That is good.
That would be-
like smoking
Yeah.
jacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about like the fork, the ETH fucking classic shit, the Dow. Just go through 10 years of history drunk as fuck, dude. I will.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
This could be a full-fledged movie.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Drunk
He's like,
crypto
yep.
history.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
I
I
got-
always need it. Like,
I got money on this. We'll make it happen. I think we know Jeff
Shit.
over there. Jeff Crane can probably make this happen.
Yeah.
yeah,
I have a director friend too that might. I mean, we know like a lot of random entertainment people. So there's definitely people that would be interested that could pitch it up
This
to
is
other
why
places.
people like me should never have made millions of dollars because I can do dumb shit now.
I have the friend that does the Vice
dumb.
TV shows, the reality stuff at Vice.
Yeah, dude. See, I would love to see a crypto drunk history and see Joel dressed up like swag. I wanted like Hugh Hefner though, with like that. What are those
Yeah.
things called here? That
the bolo ties.
bolo ties. Yeah, is that what it is?
I used to own one when I was a kid. That was a long time ago, but yeah,
You
So,
look,
yeah,
you
I
would
just-
look dapper as fuck. Dapper.
just
I wanna
swag
see
and
this
dragging out
really
there.
bad.
Yes, dude. Sipping on some. Oh man, talking about 10 years worth of history to talk about, dude.
Yeah, and you
would
get
sit through
people to
that.
send you the liquor, free whiskey.
Yeah,
It's a movie.
Yeah,
Wait, somebody said this is already a movie. Fuck you. Who's talking about crypto drunk in a movie? Fight me.
no,
Fight
Not
three
in
of
that
us.
second way.
At once.
I think they're just
But you know what?
trolling me.
Like you could do like a different kind of dapper outfit each episode. Like the first one, you're doing like the old tweed professor thing, and then you do like the James Bond with the martini look, and then you do like the ancient Mongol warlord look with like a bottle of Mongolian milk vodka, and like you just like keep on doing different like old drunk guy telling the story permutations until
Yeah.
just to keep like what's he gonna be wearing this week?
I
You
feel
know?
like my favorite would be a zoot suit. I always thought I'd do fairly well in the zoot suit mafia type era in New York. Like I feel like I would have vibed with them.
I see you in that like Bitcoin orange zoot suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Are you
Yeah,
saying
dude.
Are you saying he needs to be in a jumpsuit? That seems a little rude.
Fuck.
Rude.
I didn't even
Arrest
think of
this
that.
man.
I naturally feel comfortable visualizing myself
On
in
his
an
own
orange
show, no
jumpsuit.
less.
That's not good.
All right, I'm done on that note. We're wrapping it up here. Again,
Cool.
my
That's what she
co-host
said.
Nathan. Love is the answer. You already know I'm
Yeah.
not wrapping that up.
No.
I collect STDs like NFTs.
Oh,
That sounds like a bar. in a- like a
Non-fungible
cool
diseases,
rap, doesn't it?
bitches.
NFDs.
I connect STDs like
NFTs.
NFTs. Like, yeah.
Yo, seriously, I'll like, let me post these damn links again in the chat. Like, I had the links for everything. I want to
It's a-
remind everybody. Now, here's the
Guys,
Twitter
just
link.
scroll up.
Yeah, just
Just
scroll up.
scroll.
Here's the Twitter link. Go give them
Can
a
you
follow
do this?
on Twitter.
That's all you
Yeah.
gotta
Again.
do. Can you do this?
Here is
Yeah.
the YouTube
Well,
link right here.
yes, we can.
Boom. And here is the Cointree link if you want to send some crypto love to a bro. You
Take
should
that
add your
Cointree.
wax address to that Cointree. People can send you NFTs.
Nice. I'll get on
Cointrees.
wax. I'll get on wax.
You heard it.
Oh,
He
yeah,
said
man.
it. He'll get on wax.
You heard it here
It's gonna
first.
pump now. It's probably gonna hit $3, $4. So you might want to buy a bag. If Joel's gonna buy some wax, it's probably gonna pump.
That'd be great. I'll have like $9.
He's a whale. You know, y'all don't know.
Well, usually everything I buy dumps, but that's kind of how things work.
That's how I feel, dude. Or actually, the moment I take profit on something, it dumps, and that makes me feel like a
Mhm.
whale sometimes.
It's usually when I'm about to, I'm like, I'll wait one more day, and then I'm like, fuck.
Mhm.
Procrastination is the biggest killer of profits in crypto. That's for sure. Hey,
Well, they say that
Oh, good.
procrastination is like masturbation. It's plenty fun until you realize you're just fucking yourself.
Oh,
That I did not come up with that, obviously.
nope,
Yeah.
you heard it here first. He made that up. folks.
That hits deep because I masturbated today, so that's just like hits close to home.
I think you said like 7 times already, right? It's kind of a record.
As long as you didn't
just
finish on this
improving.
podcast,
Yes,
that's
and.
all I care about.
I just
Yes, and.
watch Richard Hart videos and masturbate. That's what I do now.
I watch Marilyn Manson when I do that.
Well, that means that both of you are doing the same thing at the same time. then. I'm sure Richard's doing it on his show.
no, we call each other like, "Hey, you ready, bro?" And then he's like, "Yup." And we're like, "All right."
Did you see his
and
weird
we click,
bathtub
and
video?
we know in spirit.
His
it's
what?
there.
Bathtub video?
No.
Richard Hart did like a video where he's in a bathtub.
Oh, my hero.
And he's like,
I have
he's
photos of
washing
Ken in
his-
the tub.
He's washing his jeans with his feet in the tub
I love
because
it.
he's Richard Hart.
I love Richard. I love that about no. All right, so I did a bubble bath video in 2016. No, 2017. 2016 was during the ETH fork, right?
Probably.
I think it was like
the
late
old
2016. I was in a bubble bath in my bathtub on a Facebook live stream when I was flipping ETH to ETH Classic and ETH Classic back to ETH. And if you go back to
Yeah.
the video, it was probably like close to 400 Ethereum that I was swapping.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that he
Wow.
did a bathtub video, like I love it
Wow.
because I did a very similar live stream in a bathtub. I love Richard, dude. He's a nut. He's an absolute insane lunatic, and I love him. Also, somebody donated me like almost $1 million worth of hex, so like I have like $1 million worth of hex thanks to him.
And
You're
apparently it's not a
overpaid,
scam. It's doing well.
No,
So-
I mean it is a scam, but so is Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like one solar
These
flare
days,
away from
kinda.
all of us being broke.
Hey, our whole system is a scam. Reality's
Reality's
a
a fucking
Wake up,
scam.
people.
Yeah.
Wake up. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
chill. I love
sleeping.
you.
You're not sleeping. You're scamming. Wake up.
You're
dude.
wide awake
Wake
in a
up.
dream world.
Anyway, this is where they hear the outro song. Ready?
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Some Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs. NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high.
Yep.
Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.